Hey there, Scorpio. Welcome to your reading for the week of April 21st. You have this reflect card and this closure card. Could definitely be a good week to get closure for yourself by, reflecting on something for sure. So, we just had all those retrogrades end, but even though they've ended, we are still in the shadow period for Mars, Mercury, and Venus until the beginning of May, basically. So, it still could be a great time to reflect on things and heal things and all that other good stuff that you could possibly imagine. You have the Hierophant, the Page of Wands, and the Empress, which is great. The Hierophant can represent blessings coming in for you. So, this reading looks really good. Definitely a lot of good stuff coming in for you, but the Hierophant can represent blessings. Now, there's one thing that's popping into my head with that Hierophant, and that is thinking outside the box, right? The Hierophant has a very strict belief system, and he's kind of sitting on this box here. And I do feel that the blessings that are coming in, that will come in for you, are going to come in through outside the box thinking or unique solutions to your problems, or not even problems, right? Like things can be going well for you, but you can always make things better. And outside the box thinking is probably the thing that is going to make things better. We have Pluto and Aquarius, and a cheat code for Pluto and Aquarius is innovation. Anything you're doing, anything you're working on, anything you're trying to improve, just kind of coming up with other ways of doing it, experimenting, learning new things, all that other good stuff will really make a difference. And I feel like that's where your blessings could be coming in from for this card. There is a little bit of love here as well. So if you want love, you could be attracting a very serious person. And it could move quickly because you have the Eight of Wands and you also have the Knight of Swords in the good stuff. So, and I would say, even though this is a weekly reading, I think for water signs that love really kind of gets going in May. So, whatever. Take it how it resonates, right? I'm not saying you're going to meet this person today. It might be between, now and May or June even. And, but again, once you meet them, if there is a person here, then it could move very quickly. You have the Page of Wands. Yeah, I think Page of Wands is just encouraging exploration. The thing about the Page of Wands is he doesn't really have a good reason to do what he's doing in life. He is just excited for the journey. That's it. He's the card of like enthusiasm and optimism, and he's just optimistic about the journey that he's about to go on. He also has this tiny little feather right here, and on the Fool card, right, the Fool has a feather that's like super long on his head. So we have a saying like a feather in the cap, meaning that you've learned something or you've learned a lot of information. So he still has a lot to learn on his journey, and it's definitely popping into my head with the Page of Wands that a lot of you, it's like you still have things to learn. So it's like if you're doing something that feels right, in your life, like, your job or business, or you're moving in a new direction or doing something different, the Page of Wands basically says you're still going to be learning on this journey, but also, you might be feeling called to start a journey where you can't really explain why. Sometimes, like I said, he is just excited, but, if you want to change your career, and you tell people in your life, I just feel like I need to change my career, they might call you crazy, right? So it's kind of one of those things where we just have to do what we're feeling. You have the Empress, so very attractive at this time here, Scorpio. What did I call you at the beginning of this reading? I feel like I called you Capricorn for some reason. Hopefully I didn't, but anyway, Capricorn just popped into my head. So if you want love, you could be attracting a Capricorn here, Scorpio. It could be any sign, but it did pop into my head. The Empress is a card of abundance and attracting abundance. For you, like I said, I feel like you're very attractive at this time, so if you want love, get out there. The other thing that's popping into my head with the Empress is the Eight of Wands. Both cards represent creating more ease in your life. Like all she has to do to grow that wheat in front of her is wave her scepter, and that wheat in front of her will grow. The Eight of Wands is my card of creating a slip and slide in life. It says anywhere there's friction in your life, remove it or change it in some way. Now, life isn't perfect, of course not. There will always be things we have to do that we don't want to do, but the Eight of Wands says, how can you make those things better? Or, are there changes you can make to make the things you don't want to do better? And that's what I would be thinking about with this Empress energy. And also, if there are things in life that are slowing you down, how can you think outside the box and change those things so that they get better? And that's what I would be doing right now. With the Hierophant, you have the Queen of Wands. Like I said, Queen of Wands is my card of seduction, so obviously, like I said, you're very attractive at this time. It looks to me like if you're attracting a person, it's like a specific person, because you have the King of Cups here and the King of Pentacles. It could be an earth sign or a water sign. Could be a mixture of both. Like I said, Capricorn. It could be a Capricorn that you're attracting, but whatever. Doesn't really matter. The other thing about the Queen of Wands is that she moves forward boldly towards what she wants. She has this sunflower right here, and the sunflower points towards the sun. So she is being guided by her desire. With the Page of Wands, you have the Page of Cups. Yep, definitely an admirer coming in for you for sure. It could feel like a little bit of an adventure with the Page of Wands. There could be some adventure attached to the connection, like maybe you travel with the person, maybe you have to travel to see the person, whatever. But definitely could be an admirer coming in for you. With the Empress, you have the Hermit. Yes, no one can see you if you're staying home, right? So for those of you that want love, get out of the house. Get out of hermit mode so that you can attract something. Clearly, you're very attractive at this time, but if people can't see it, then they're not going to see you. The other thing about the Hermit is he's learned a lot. He has climbed to the top of this mountain. He's been through a dark night of the soul, and now he's shining his inner light. But now he needs to come down from the mountain. With the Empress, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Eight of Wands in your reading, it could be time for you to implement what you've learned through work. And so if you're trying to make more money or trying to be more successful at work, it could be time for you to use your skills. Next, in the area of what's coming towards you, you have this Sadness and Female card, and also this Success and Pride card. So there could be more success. We have the Ace of Swords as your first card, which is great, and which is definitely a card of success and victory. So it's time to turn that frown upside down. Again, the Hermit might be sad because he is all alone at the top of that mountain, and he needs to step into the light. He needs to step into his own light, really. And the Success and Pride card, says you need to be pride. Maybe you need pride. Maybe you need to be proud of what you have accomplished or all the things you've done. And, that's definitely popping into my head with these two cards. You have the Ace of Swords, the Eight of Pentacles, and the King of Cups here, Scorpio. The Ace of Swords is like a victory or success coming in for you, and so there definitely could be a victory or success coming in for you here with the Ace of Swords. That Success and Pride card has a crown on the top of it, and you have a crown right here. The Ace of Swords is about kind of claiming your crown, and the sword is above these mountains on the card. So the sword being above the mountains says that there could be some sort of obstacle you are overcoming at this time, which would be great. That could be where the success is coming from. It can also say that there will always be obstacles in life, but the Ace of Swords being above the mountains says you will easily be able to overcome those obstacles. On top of that, the Ace of Swords can represent cutting one thing out so that you can have something better. And then going down to the Eight of Wands, right? Like I was saying on the Eight of Wands, sometimes we have to remove things that cause friction, anything that slows us down. And so this would be about really cutting things out of your life that are slowing you down. It could be anything. It could be habits. It could be belief systems. It could be people, places, or things, right? And I would really take a cold, hard look at your life and say, what is getting in my way? And how can I either make it more slippery, or how can I get rid of it, or how can I, just cut it out completely? You have the Eight of Pentacles here, and Eight of Pentacles is like material success on the horizon. I think I said to you in a recent reading that, you could be getting results for work that you've done in the past. So for any of you that have been working hard on something and not seeing a result, you could be getting much better results at this time with the Eight of Pentacles. I also just feel good about money in your reading in general. You have the Six of Pentacles and the good stuff. You have the King of Pentacles and the good stuff. Both of those cards and the Eight of Pentacles would represent kind of mastering a craft. Like the Eight of Pentacles represents mastering a craft, and the King of Pentacles can represent, making money with a skill. So a lot of you, if you've been learning a skill, or if you have a skill, you could just be making money with your skills. You have the King of Cups, definitely a person that you could be attracting. Could be a King of Cups type character. I feel like saying the word character here, for sure, Scorpio. So this person could be a little bit of a character, or they could be a goofball or something, I don't know. Sometimes goofball can be a bad thing, but I feel that this is in a good way. I feel like this person's very adventurous as well. He has this boat behind him here on the King of Cups, and the boat on the King of Cups represents traveling into the unknown. So, there could be something unknown about this person, or again, maybe you have to like travel to be with this person, or that maybe you will travel with this person. With the Ace of Swords, you show up as the Death card. So whenever you show up as yourself, this really puts you in a position of power and strength and allows you to get what you want from the reading. So a lot of you could be really standing out here with the with the Ace of Swords and that Death card. This could also say that you are undergoing a transformation. Even the Ace of Swords is kind of a card of transformation because you are, if you're cutting things out, you are changing things, and you could be going through a change here. You have two cards wanting to pop out here. The card I pulled was the Three of Wands, and the Seven of Cups went flying out there. So the Three of Wands is a card of expansion and growth, and, there's a lot of growth here in this reading, for sure. Empress, Eight of Wands, King of Pentacles even, and the good stuff. So a lot of you could be expanding. The Seven of Cups is like your options, and I do feel that in work. You go from the Hierophant down to the Eight of Pentacles in your first diagonal, and so that kind of says to me that you could be giving yourself, or it's like you could be creating more options for yourself through expansion. Like, here's what I will say. Like, imagine if I had a tarot channel where I only read tarot for people who are born on November 1st. And people who were born on November 1st in 1979, right? Obviously, then only like 3 people would be watching my videos, right? But by reading for everyone, I open it up to everyone. And that's I know that's a shitty example, but that's the best one I can come up with right now. So it's almost like you are taking something you do and you are making it more available. That's kind of the feeling I get here. Maybe you've already been thinking about this as well, Scorpio. Like, maybe you've already been thinking about expanding something, or, just making it more available. I don't know. But that's a very random message. But if that resonates, then I would do whatever you're thinking about doing. With the King of Cups, you have the Six of Swords. Yeah, kind of a weird message here as well. Like, I'm not getting Six of Swords energy. I'm getting more, like, easygoing energy and more, like, just kind of go with the flow energy. And I feel this could be describing a person, though. Like, I feel like it could be saying that this person could just be very, like, go with the flow, very kind of happy-go-lucky, easy breezy, easy breezy, beautiful Scorpio type of energy. So, there you go. I like it. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have the Mountain and the Sun coming up here in the Gilded Lenormand. So you could definitely be getting recognition for an achievement. These two cards together can kind of represent, recognition for an achievement. Could also represent overcoming an obstacle, like I said, with the Ace of Swords. So, it seems to me like a lot of you are overcoming something. You have the Five of Wands, the Eight of Wands, and the Strength card. Five of Wands can be conflict or competition. I'm pretty sure, I think all 3 water signs have this card this week. And Five of Wands says you need to look at the competition and you need to learn from the competition. These people are using sticks to fight. They're not using swords. So the Five of Wands can really be a card of like learning from the competition, looking at what they're not doing, what you are doing, and what you should be doing, and doing something different. So really the Five of Wands is about avoiding competition by kind of like going around it, if that makes sense. And if there's competition for anything that you want, that's what I would do. Same thing with love. You could have your eye on a person where maybe you think there's a lot of competition for the person, but number one, maybe there isn't. Number two, maybe you're the winner with the Ace of Swords coming up right next to it. You have the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands is like quick success or quick conclusion coming in for you. Can also represent like good news coming in as well. I kind of feel what we've already said, that there are things in your life that you need to smooth out. There are things in life that you need to kind of make easier or more slippery or better in some way. And like I said, I mean, obviously I'm reading for a lot of you, so it's going to be different for all of you. But I would look at those things that slow you down or the things that get in your way. It could be your mindset, could be your beliefs, it could be people, it could be whatever. And I would like really kind of look at those things and say like, how can I transform this or transform these things into not an obstacle? And that's what I would do. Excuse me. I also do feel that if this is a love reading for you, then this is going to be something that moves very quickly. You have the Eight of Wands and you have the Knight of Swords. It's like this is something that is probably going to charge forward very fast. But, again, if it works, it works. You have the Strength card. The Strength card is a display of strength. There's definitely something here about mindset in your reading, which I think happened to you recently as well. You have the Hermit and the Ace of Swords as well, which are also kind of like about your mindset in some ways. She is taming this lion. This lion has its tail between its legs here, and it is submitting to her. So she is the one that is in control of her inner voice. And I feel that getting in control of that voice that tells you, you can't do something or you shouldn't do something or whatever the case may be, that would be a really good idea. The other thing is you have a ton of cards here that really say that you are standing out. And I always say, who in their right mind would stick their hands in a lion's mouth? And the answer is nobody. So you could be getting recognition for your strength at this time, and that could be beneficial for like work or business or whatever. With the Five of Wands, you have the Page of Wands. So you could be a little bit conflicted. And like that's why I spent so much time saying on the Page of Wands that he doesn't really have a good reason for doing something. And it's like sometimes we want to do something, but we can't really explain it. And that is the feeling I get here. I got it over here with the Page of Wands, just in general. It's like there's something that feels right, but it's the reasoning behind it might not be there. But, sometimes that's how it works. Sometimes we just feel like we should go start something new, or we should start a business, or we should date a person, or whatever, and we can't really explain it. And I feel like there is something a little bit unexplained about this. With the Eight of Wands, you have the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, Knight of Pentacles is slow movement or no movement. He's the only knight in the tarot that isn't moving. And, the whole point of the card is that he has all the knowledge and wisdom necessary to plant seeds in this field, and they will grow. And what do you know? You have the Six of Pentacles right here. Six of Pentacles is my card of planting seeds in a direction. Six of Pentacles says if you're trying to get started on something, plant a couple seeds, try a couple of things, see what works, see what doesn't, and double down on the stuff that's working. So you're definitely like planting seeds towards something new in your life or towards a new direction. And I feel like that will be very good. With the Strength card, you have the World. Yes, you are definitely standing out, for sure. The World can sometimes say you are on top of the world, or you are receiving recognition in the world. And that's kind of what I feel. Empress, Strength, all this other stuff. So you really could be standing out at this time. You also show up right here as the Phoenix or the Eagle, whichever you prefer. So the World we read as Capricorn, but it can also represent the fixed signs, Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, and Leo. So, it seems to me like you're really kind of getting attention. The World can also represent an accomplishment or achievement, and you have a lot of great stuff for achieving things. Ace of Swords, Eight of Wands, this card, Empress. So it could be a great week for you to, it seems to me like you're achieving things. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this card that says confidence is the key to your success. You also have this card that says your commitment is being tested. I feel like your commitment has been tested to something, like Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles can be a pain in the ass. It's like you could be trying to get to a goal or an achievement, and it's like you're trying all these little things as you go along. The good news is it's coming up in the good stuff, so maybe you're finally getting a result for the work that you're doing. With the Strength card and also this other Leo card here, the New Moon and Leo card, definitely confidence is going to be important for you. The Queen of Wands, which you kind of started with, she needs to be bold, assertive, and confident. And so being bold, assertive, and confident in all that you do is going to make a big difference. You have the Six of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords, and the King of Pentacles. Like I said, Six of Pentacles about planting seeds. Also with the Eight of Wands, he's giving to this person, not this person. So with the Eight of Wands, it's like you are making decisions that are making your life easier through investment. This could be investment of time, effort, energy, attention, love, money, everything. And so I would really also, with the Eight of Wands, be looking at who and what you give what to. And if you pay attention to that and you make sure that the things you give anything to are giving back to you, then things are going to be a lot better. You have the Knight of Swords. Yes, I think if you're attracting love, it's going to move very quickly. that's it. There's really nothing to say here. I feel like you could be getting into a relationship that does move forward very quickly. Normally, I don't really like the Knight of Swords because he's being too hasty. He's rushing, but he's showing up in the good stuff. The other thing about the Knight of Swords and the good stuff is that this could represent like a good news or a message that comes rushing into your life. Same thing with the Eight of Wands right next to it can also represent, a message or good news coming in for you very quickly with that Eight of Wands. So a lot of you could be getting good news or receiving a message quickly, which I like. You have the King of Pentacles. I said something at the beginning of the reading about your skills. He has these grapes on his cloak, and the grapes in the tarot represent something that's very difficult to grow, but he can grow it well. So the King of Pentacles can represent you using a skill that is difficult for most people, but you can do it easily. And I would definitely be using your skills at this time. I would also be growing your skills, as in, with the Hierophant and also this whole diagonal right here, Ace of Swords, Eight of Wands. Anything new that you can learn about your skills or like the work that you do would be very beneficial. With the Six of Pentacles, you have the Three of Pentacles. Yeah, teamwork. Three of Pentacles is having a common goal. So if you are attracting a person, for example, it's like maybe you're attracting a person where the two of you kind of want the same thing out of life, which is good. Three of Pentacles could also say you're attracting a person who actually wants to work on a team, which is also good. So I like it. On top of that, by the way, with all this attention stuff coming up in this reading, Three of Pentacles is about putting your work on display. He's getting recognition for the work that he has done. So a lot of you could be getting recognition for your work. With the Knight of Swords, you have the Five of Wands. Five of Wands like conflict or competition. You have it twice here, right here. But coming up in the good stuff, this could say that you're overcoming the competition or you are finding a way around the competition, which is exactly what we talked about. This could also say that if you're doing something that you can't explain, that you will be proven right in the future because it's coming up in the good stuff. With the King of Pentacles, what do you know? You have the King of Wands. We have the King and Queen of Wands right here. I like the King and Queen of Wands for love because they have a lot of desire for each other. They really actually want to be together with each other and all that other good stuff. So definitely could be a very solid connection with a lot of desire. You have this club card. It says someone will try to make you do something against your will. We don't really see this in the reading, but, again, with the Eight of Wands, if there are people who try to, like, force you to do things, or if there are people who try to, talk you into things, then maybe those are the people that you need to avoid at this time. Like I said, plain and simple, the Eight of Wands is about making your life easier, or as easy as you possibly can. So anyone who adds complication to your life, maybe they need to be removed. You have this owl. It says good advice from a wise person. So this would obviously be a different person or different people. If you have people who have given you good advice in the past, then this might be, that person. The Hierophant. The Hierophant is a teacher. The Hierophant can be like a mentor. So if you have a mentor or even just someone you look up to, getting advice from that person could be very beneficial. You have this yoke card. It says feeling tied down or frustrated. I feel like you're coming off of this energy. We see a ton of freedom in this reading. Ace of Swords, Eight of Wands, like all these cards are you setting yourself free, moving forward. So a lot of you could finally be getting away from that energy. You have this boat card. It says money or property through an inheritance, winning, or windfall. Definitely looks good financially. So whatever you're doing financially, I think things could be going very well for you. I also feel that this could be saying that, work that you've done with your skills. You have the Three of Wands in this reading. The Three of Wands is your ships coming in. So a lot of you, there's a boat on this card. There definitely could be your ships coming in. You have this pig card. It says beware of greed. We still are in the Mars retrograde shadow. I always look at Mars retrograde as a bad time for people who are greedy, people who are weird or whatever. So I would avoid greedy people at this time, or people who like want too much of your time or whatever, right? But this looks very good, Scorpio. I like it. So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your week.